petroleum resources.
Let's move on as quickly as possible. It appears the more the government tries to salvage the crumbling economy, the harder things get. In the face of this, the federal government has vowed to clamp down on individuals sabotaging the country's economy. In a statement, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, noted that regulatory and enforcement agencies are working round the clock to identify, investigate and sanction those involved in illegal activities and sabotage in the forex market. Mikhail, we have you start this.
There are saboteurs everywhere, not just in the forex market. But this CBN governor knows what he has to do. They may be taking their time, to take certain steps. The banks are complicit in the destruction of the Nigerian economy. No doubt about that.
That's a fact.
And it's not, well, I've talked about what Obama did to bank chiefs in America. We've got to do that here in Nigeria. Otherwise, we're going nowhere. These bank chiefs kept $5 billion in their vaults. Well, what are they doing with $5 billion? You are an agent. You are an agent. The CBN auctions dollars every week. Auction dollars every week. CBN said, no, that's during Emefiele. We are not selling to BDCs. We are selling directly to banks. And they were selling, some of them were buying this and not selling to their customers. When you go to a bank and you tell them that you want to buy the dollar, they will direct you to their bookie. See, look at that man there. Go and meet him. It is only in our country where the dollar is sold like a commodity on the streets. If this government cannot put an end to that nonsense, we will not come out of this problem. Nowhere. All the places that I've been to, I've not been to all the countries of the world, but the few countries that I've been to the glory of God, I've not seen where they trade in currency as if it's a commodity. They are selling it as if it's granite in our country. In fact, it's beginning to spread. Places where they were not selling it before, we are beginning to sell it. And they are the ones behind all or most of the speculation that is altering the market. They are doing a lot of speculation. So what do? Government has decided that, okay, we are moving against this Binance and the rest of them, this cryptocurrency and the rest. If you are thinking of economic security, including even security against terrorism, there's no way you allow this to go. And that's why they are moving against them now. Say, no more. I think it was on Tuesday that Binance decided to disable its sell option, which means that those who would have loved to sell currency through its platform, they cannot access it. It's now that we are beginning to do certain things, because we are seeing now that people who have tons of cash are pushing it into the market to alter the market to make so much money while the rest of us suffer. So now we have to address how, because the governors who are converting tons of dollars, tons of naira to cash, to dollars, we have to find a way to stop them. Many things happen during the primaries of the parties. It is water under the bridge. We are not interested in that. We are interested in going forward. We must create a situation where the nonsense that happened during those primaries, does not happen again. And if we are able to do it, keep the flow of illicit funds in check, honestly, we will have a level of stability. We must stop people from stealing money the way they steal it in Nigeria. Because once they steal, they are looking for dollars to convert it to. Because once they convert to dollar, they are confident that, because the naira is on a free fall, they believe that if they convert it to the dollar, then their money will be intact. They found a way to secure the money. We are saying that in our country, the naira should be the only medium of exchange. It should be the only legal tender. Using the dollar as an alternative currency. It makes no sense. If South Africa can do it,
we can.
Why can't we do it? Go to Dubai now and attempt to spend the dollar. Maybe our people, all these leaders now, they go to Dubai, now they take their people to Dubai, they go to play with their girlfriends there. Do they not see that they cannot use the dollar in Dubai? Even if it's in your card. When they want to give you a change, they will give you the change in their own currency. So, that is the thing. And South Africa too. I think Egypt recently too.
Yeah.
Said, no, we are not using the dollar. What's wrong with us?
Nothing has happened to those countries.
No, those countries have not collapsed. Those countries have not collapsed. Instead, their currencies are getting stronger. We have to take drastic, big decisions. Big decisions, only big decisions can get us out of this. The saboteurs are everywhere. Even the food prices. Look at what the customs said about that 20,000 bags of assorted grains, rice, beans, maize, guinea corn, millet, soya beans, 2,500 cartons and 963 bags of dried fish and dried pepper been taken, including cooking oil, tomatoes been taken across the border. That's what middlemen are doing to us. Middlemen are behind the rapid rise in food prices. It is not the ordinary farmer that is doing it, it's the middlemen. Look at what those Gombe farmers said about rice. They said these middlemen will come into our farm, buy up our paddy. But you go out, you can't buy, you can't access rice because they've chosen to store them. They are waiting for the price to go up rapidly. Everybody wants to make money. These are the same people. On Sundays, you see them, they wear their best dresses. On Mondays or on Fridays, you see them, they wear their babariga, put on their cap. They are not like me that hardly wears cap. You put on their cap, you see them, they will be pretending that they love God. But they are actually, it is what the devil wants that they do. Anything antithetical to the love of God that Jesus Christ and Mohammed preach, they are not interested. They want to cheat you. They want to cheat Adewale. They want to cheat all of us.
Thank you so much. Adeoye, let me come to you.
Well, I think, you see, saboteurs, economic saboteurs are like vultures. They see the country as a very beautiful zebra, but they are not impressed. They want that beautiful zebra to be turned into a dead animal. But that's the only way their own vultures can feed. So they are everywhere. It's our responsibility to make sure that they don't thrive in our country. Unfortunately, they have been thriving. And I think recently we are rising up against them. You see, economic saboteurs will never allow, they will keep the country stunted. There's no way the country can grow if we allow them. But our efforts in trying to locate and deal with them, it has to be intelligence-driven. Because we must also realize that in dealing with them, we must have respect for law and order, rule of law. That law that applies to Adewale, a commoner, must apply to the big man who's an economic saboteur. Because these people that are sabotaging the economy are not ordinary people. Most of the time, they are big players in the field of politics. They are powerful bank executives. They are politically exposed persons. Some of them are in the military, who are involved in bunkering and all sort of things. Some of them also invest in politics. When they know a particular party wants to contest election, they put in money. And you don't ask of that. So there are big investment in faith-based organizations. When you see them, you think these are the best men. But behind the curtain, their heart is desperately evil. They are vultures who want to see the country turned into a dead animal so that they can feast on it. So I think, Babangida is talking about currency speculators. These are not just local saboteurs. They have international network. There are forex smugglers who smuggle currency, from Nigeria abroad, So it has to be intelligence-driven, and that's why I think the government needs to realize the role of anti-corruption agencies in this battle, especially the FCC. I attended the program yesterday with the chairman of the FCC, and he says something that baffled all of us. He said since he came to power, started sitting on that, that he never had a single gray hair. But when he got there, few months, started developing gray because he doesn't sleep until around 1 year. And he said on New Year's Eve, he was watching, his system and saw people moving billions of naira from one place to the other. New Year's Eve, when he was in church, he had to leave everything he was doing and started tracking them to ensure that those accounts were closed in the next 24 hours. Because these are government officials, because they didn't exhaust the budget. So they wanted the remaining money to be transferred into. And people doing this said some of them are under 40 years old, young people. So you could see somebody, chairman of an organization that has passion, you understand the problem. So if we want to tackle economic saboteurs, the FCC, the ICPC, the media is our collective resource. We'll just be talking about Tinubu. We need to play our roles as journalists. Because, he said something, he said they arrested some people, some big men for corruption. The next thing, they brought in people from their village to come and protest. Ordinary people that cannot feed, to come and protest in favor of that politician. You know what he did? He sent people there. Don't go and shoot them. Go and educate them. He said after talking to them, educating them, that look, the man has stolen so much money, meant for your health care, meant for your roads, meant for farm. A lot of things said, they started departing one after the other. So that's the kind of thing. When people understand that stealing money should not be the normal thing in life. That when you steal money, your community should isolate you.
Yes.
Not that the king will give you chieftaincy title. So we need to work together. Or to ban you. The people also have very important role to play. Not that they will go to court to defend, to protest in support of criminals.
Right. So quickly before, I do apologize.
Yeah.
So quickly before we move on, BQ, earlier you talked about bank executives being enablers of this. Now, CBN recently sent out new directives to all of these banks, talking about natural hedging, network. And I feel compliance is a big issue. How does the Apex Bank ensure that all of these commercial banks adhere to these templates?
They know. And you must make an example out of one of them. Sanusi dealt with some bank chiefs. Because those bank chiefs were seeing those banks as their personal property. Banks were in the habit of converting people's deposits, using people's deposits to buy shares for themselves. That was the problem with Societe Generale, and it had to die because the shareholders used depositors' funds to buy shares for themselves. Nigerian bank chiefs use depositors' funds to give themselves loans, and they will not pay. They will not pay. They can't get away with it in other places. They can't. I said, even in America, some of them, after being exposed, they committed suicide.
Yeah.
Because what Obama said was, look, we will save the big companies in our country from collapse. We will intervene. Because if we don't save them from collapse, jobs will be lost and all that. It will affect the economy. We will save them from collapse, but the people brought them to that sorry state. We will not spare them. He said that. I listened to him as he was talking. The AIGs of this, all those, they are big companies. They rescued them. But in the end, the managers had to go. The economic sabotage that banks are doing, this foreign exchange thing, they've used it to make so much money. Those banks, see their balance sheet, you see that they fed fat from you and I, and all those illegal charges that if you get a forensic accountant to do a critical survey of Nigerian banks, your blood will boil.
Yeah.
That's what they've done to us. And there's no way that the CBN as a regulator will claim that it does not know some of these insider dealings, the round tripping, and how they are helping politicians, big politicians to save money, move money abroad and all that. They are opening branches abroad. You know, a lot of money laundering taking place. We have to be more aggressive. And we have to make sacrifices. A lot of people are saying, oh, this government wants us to make sacrifices, but they too are not making sacrifices. Nigerians need to see, for example, all of what we are giving the National Assembly people. Those things don't signify to our people that we are in dire straits. And our situation is dire. So let people see that our leaders are making sacrifices. And it has to percolate down. President makes sacrifices. Let's see it. National Assembly members make sacrifices. Let's see it. You will be able to galvanize Nigerians behind you. Otherwise, they will say, oh, they want us to make sacrifices. They are not prepared to make sacrifices. And the opposition will use that again.
All right. Gentlemen, let's move on to our